Hello and good evening, Piedmont Lions fans. We are coming to you live from Cave Arena on this wonderful Tuesday evening. Simon Johnstone here with Eric Edmondson, and we have a beautiful contest of women's volleyball here today with your Piedmont Lady Lions, who have been red hot as of late, taking on the Bob Jones Bruins, who have also had quite the start to their season. This matchup is going to be a true test of ability for the Lady Lions. The Lady Lions had a slow start to the season. We're about 1-7, and then all of a sudden, tides changed after their victory against Toccoa Falls. One of the most dramatic finishes we've seen in recent history for women's volleyball. If you happen to miss it, they came back and won 8 straight points in the deciding set to steal that game from Toccoa Falls. And after that, well, the Lady Lions are on a 4-game match streak, so this team is the hottest of them all when it comes to the CCS, who are currently finding themselves in second place. And across the net is a very worthy opponent. Bob Jones University is who is across the net in the blue. They currently have an overall record of 13-2 with a couple of scary statistical leaders. Victoria Glaze with 156 kills is the biggest note that I've noticed so far. But from what we've seen of these Lady Lions, especially as of late, this is not only a good opportunity for them to prove themselves against such a strong opponent, but a great opportunity to really make their mark. And honestly, when it comes to Division III athletics, as we're about to get underway, let's give you the starting lineups, and that I'm going to hand off to Eric Edmondson.
Thank you very much, Simon. For Bob Jones, the Bruins line up like this: Victoria Glaze, Kirsten Hoops, Timber Cruz, Catherine Hoops, Faith Blaylock, Emily Lewis, and the libero, Caitlin Landcrone. And for your Piedmont Lions, it'll be Vanessa Manzo, followed by Katie Hubbard. We got a story about her. Destiny Dietz is in. Jessica Sconier is also as well. Jenna Ash, the rookie Kaylee Ashcraft, fresh off her second in a row Collegiate Conference of the South rookie nomination, and libero Taylor Herman.
It's a lineup we are very accustomed to seeing when it comes to this Lady Lions squad. Lady Lions had an impressive week. Of course, their 4 straight victories are the biggest thing to note, but Eric, you mentioned Kaylee Ashcraft getting her second in a row when it comes to CCS Rookie of the Week, and along with her was Katie Hubbard and Taylor Herman, both getting Offensive and Defensive Player of the Weeks respectively. So it's just been a fantastic stretch of matches for these Lady Lions. Vanessa Manzo back to serve in Cave Arena, and here we go. We're underway against Bob Jones University. Lady Lions, as we said, a lineup we're very used to seeing. Manzo sort of the lead girl when it comes to passes. This time Jenna Ash going to be on the attack. Bob Jones sends one back over. Katie Hubbard dives to keep it alive, but not to be. Bob Jones going to open up the scoring column here. And the Lady Lions shifted their strategy last year to this year. Last year they ran 2 setters. We talked about it a little bit earlier this year. Now they've kind of just relied on Vanessa Manzo. So she's going to have the tall task of not only defending up front, but also trying to find all of her hitters. As I say that, Manzo, great set and dump there. Looks to find a spot, but not to be. And Bob Jones right back on the attack. Singles out Katie Hubbard, who's going to have a passing error there.
Yeah, and you spoke about Vanessa Manzo. Just 31 kills for her, but 301 assists. She's really been pivotal on that roll-up in the net. So looking for a big night for her, and also the key players in Hubbard, Herman, and Ashcraft.
A seasoned squad that mostly played together. This time, Manzo is going to send it out to Ash, who's going to go for a roll over the top. Good pickup there by one of the Bruins. Same thing's going to be sent on over. Hubbard with a beautiful dig out to Manzo. Shut down are the Lady Lions attack. This time, we're going to see a block by, I believe, Blaylock, if I'm not mistaken. It's going to be a combination of Emily Lewis as well as Faith Blaylock, so great defensive effort there. And Lady Lions, a little bit of a slow start here. 3 straight to the hands of the Bruins. Manzo going to look outside to Ashcraft this time. Tip not going to render any points. But how about Destiny Dietz getting up high and dropping it down low for the first block and the first point of the match. Great defensive effort there.
Just very beautiful, jumping up in there and really noticing the kind of gap that the Bruins were giving her, and gets the Lady Lions an opportunity to go on a little bit of a run here.
Ashcraft back to serve. She's dangerous when she has the ball in her hands. Going to find the libero of the Bruins, who sets it out wide. Good attack there. Going to be dug up by Ashcraft. Jenna Ash now straight through the hands of the middle blocker of the Bruins. Great job there. Jenna Ash, such a powerful hitter when it comes to her kills. You always not only have to watch for those blocks, but anytime she swings, it's a very good chance it's going to ricochet.
And Ashcraft, you talked about, she's always dangerous back there. Coming into this, she's tied 6th in NCAA Division III in serve. Right there, a little bit of an error, but serve aces, and she leads the CCS with those, with 45 of them. So when she's back there, a lot of confidence. Unfortunately, right there, Lady Lions couldn't convert that one into a point.
Absolutely, and having that as a freshman is such a benefit. Bruins back to serve, scoreline 4-2 in favor of Bob Jones. Attack going to be blocked. Once again, Manzo looks outside to Hubbard. Hubbard going to swing. They're going to call it off the antenna. Legal swing there. Going to give the Bruins another points increase, the lead to 5. Lady Lions, bit of a shaky start, not really able to get into system. Manzo trying to spread the love, which is good, but just not enough attacking strength just yet. Serve going to drop a little bit short in the hands of Kaylee Ashcraft, and that's going to be an ace given to Bob Jones. Early timeout. Head coach Jamie McCormack's going to have a second to talk to her team, try and figure out how to pick up from this slow start. And well, Eric, is there anything you noticed that the Lions could fix?
Well, something obviously is, you saw the ace right there, and that was the first ace for the Bruins, and everything else, it seems like it's kind of been a miscommunication on the Lady Lions, whether it be up against the net, who's going to get this one. Obviously, there was a play a couple of minutes ago where they just kind of looked at each other when it went off the net. So it's going to be taking a lot more of a passing, a lot more setting, and a lot more cohesion, especially on the front side, because the back half is doing their part with its saves and the digs.
Absolutely, and the last time we were live and happened to see these Lady Lions at home in Cave Arena, it was against Toccoa Falls, where we saw that beautiful comeback. And one of the big words and the big takeaways we had in that night, even though they took the victory, was miscommunication. There were a lot of situations where either two Lady Lions would look at each other and the ball would drop, or there'd be a situation where the set would go one spot and the attacker thought it would be coming shorter or further. So it looked to be that they figured out those miscommunication issues, considering they're on a 4-match win streak, but this start isn't the best when it comes to being on the same page. But Cave Arena coming out in troves here. A lot of the Piedmont Lady Line faithful out in the left corner, supporting in a white-out themed game. Back to serve for the Bruins is Landcris, I believe. Good attack there by Dietz on the outside. Block goes up, shut down by Hubbard and Dietz. Set outside once again for the Bruins. Good pickup by Ashcraft. Set out to Jenna. Good dig there by Blalock. Attack once again. I'm going to be hoops and shut down. Destiny Dietz. Great defensive effort there by the Lady Lions.
Love to see that right there, and I can't imagine in the huddle that the conversation was anything beyond just, look, don't let you beat yourself. The other team is one thing. They're their own competition. They're going to play their game, but play your game out there.
Defensive effort by Herman's going to keep that ball alive. Great job there by the Lady Lions to stay together. Hubbard going to dig up the tip out to Manzo, now to Ash. Ash going to get the deflection and the kill once again.
What a job by Herman. 48 digs across 3 of her last matches. That earned her offensive player of the week. She was phenomenal there and phenomenal right here. Just a great job to keep that ball alive in what looks like it was going to be dead.
Herman, the senior, who has been so great for so many years with these Lady Lions, is now back to serve to try and continue this great run they have coming out of the timeout break. Attack by Bob Jones, going to be dug once again by Herman. Looks to find Sconyers, tip over the middle, is going to fall right into the campfire. Sconyers open up her kill column here with a nice little tip over the middle. That time Blalock just a little too below it. Lady Lions marching on a comeback here. 5-6 to score. Herman sends one back over. Ball to Hoops, who's going to set it outside to Blalock. And well, how about that for a kill, and how about that for an answer? Great stuff by Blalock.
Not too much you can do about that one. That was just a perfect set by Bob Jones and just perfect execution. Split the gap between a couple Lady Lions in the back.
Eden Sweetheart now for the Bruins back to serve. 7-5 in favor of Bob Jones. Manzo looks outside to Jenna Ash. Look to find the corner, not to be. Oh, wide there, Hoops. Hoops with the deflection of Ash. Good scramble there, almost kept the ball alive, but just out of reach of Vanessa Manzo. Lady Lions seem to recover a little bit better here out of the timeout, but a couple little clicks here and there that they still need to iron out.
Just a couple things, like you said, Simon, just still trying to remedy that, and I'm sure as the match continues, they will remedy that.
High attack there, going to tip off the hands of Scaniers, and the back line of Ashcraft and Herman not able to keep it alive. Bruins seem to be a smart attacking team, looking to attack the hand placement of that Lady Lions defense when it comes to the net. Back to serve once again is Sweetheart. Ash with the pass. Sends it on over to Ashcraft, who's going to just give it over to Bob Jones, keep the point alive. Attack by Hoops, that's too far behind, and that's going to be a setting error for Bob Jones. Lady Lions say thank you very much for that free point. The energy is high when it comes to this Cave Arena right now.
Kirsten Hoops, a rare error with that. She set up a .430 set percentage last week, coming away with Collegiate Conference of the South honors, or excuse me, of NCCAA honors. So many letters sometimes get mixed up in the alphabet soup.
A good setter in her own right. A .433 is about half the time she sets a ball to one of her teammates. It results in a point for them, so a very scary statistic across the net. Serve going to be received by Herman, out to Manzo. Scaniers with the attack, not to be. Ball going to roll off the net and not find the coverage of Jenna Ash. Bit of a weird attack there. Didn't really get the best set, but Bob Jones made do in the score, 11-6. Bob Jones lead, highest lead so far this game. Lady Lions going to have to recover here. Manzo looks to dump. She's live in the front row. No points there. Bob Jones is ready. Scaniers on the outside. Going to be picked up. Attack this time by Timber Cruz. Going to hit off the hands of the Lady Lions once again. It seems to be a common problem so far in this matchup. Lady Lions a little late to the block, which is sending that ball up high.
Obviously, you want the block. You want to stop whatever sort of anything to have anything set up on the net. But unfortunately for them, it is tipped directly off the top half and just found its way out of play.
Cruz on the attack, got dug up well. Scaniers now in the middle, picked up by Bob Jones. We're going to see a net violation against Jessica Scaniers. A little too tight there. Likely the jersey or hands on the way down is going to give Bruins another point there. Back to serve, it looks to be Hoops. Of course, such a dangerous setter, I believe. Or she's just playing back row. Couldn't exactly pick up just yet. That time, oh, that was Hoops, excuse me. Are there two Hoops? Goodness me, there are two Hoops. Would you look at that?
Manzo there with an excellent just way to get it over. Kind of baffled the defense of the Bruins. They were definitely expecting Manzo to set, but just going for it right there had them on the heels.
Lady Lions so good at scrambling. Brooklyn Gunn now in, or is that actually Mary Grace Shaw, excuse me, the one serving it up there. Manzo's still in there. Good attack once again by the Bruins. This time, Victoria Glaze looks to be the one grabbing the kill. We will verify that super quickly, and it's going to be Victoria Glaze. Once again, the Bruins lead 14-7. Lady Lions trying to find the comeback, trying to find a bit of momentum here as we see Scaniers take a spill. Seems to be some leakage on the court after a couple of scramble plays, but nonetheless, Lady Lions going to get another tool kill here as we see some perspiration swept up the court.
Really good job there to jump back in and just make sure this doesn't get way too out of hand. Still a pretty good deficit to cover, but definitely not one that the Lions can be short of getting.
Scaniers now back to serve, trailing by 6. Serve going to receive Hoops. Sets it out to Cruz, and great kill there by Cruz. Without Taylor Herman in the back line, it's tough to keep those points alive. Mary Grace Shaw and Scaniers did the best they could, but just found the seam there. And Bruins just, when they drop a point, they seem to recover quickly with getting a point right back in their own right, as Kirsten Hoops is the one to serve here. Manzo now sets it out to Kaylee Ashcraft, and as our friend Silas Sandals in this dance was chanting, she's a freshman, but she doesn't play like one. Of course, you mentioned, Eric, her ability to serve, one of the top servers in all of Division III women's volleyball, and her attacking prowess is just as good. So what a dangerous asset to have for the Lady Lions.
Just straight up unfair when she has control.
Emily Lewis on the attack is going to find the hands of Herman, but too much pace there is going to result in a deflection and another kill for the Bruins.
This Bruins team really good at the kill. 661 of them on the year and just growing with this game.
Bruins going to send that one over. Herman with the dig. Manzo now. Set outside to Ash, and there it is again. Both teams getting their hands up for the block, but both teams smart enough on the attack to nail it off the hands and deflect out of bounds. Lady Lions trying to mount a comeback. Cave Arena's rocking, trying to bring momentum and energy for them as looks to be Ashcraft back to serve once again. We talked about how dangerous she is. Float serve going to sail over, find the hands of Caitlin Landcron. Manzo now out to Hubbard. Hubbard with the swing, picked up by Cruz. Hoops to Hoops. Hoop squared, not to be shut down by Jenna Ash.
Good things happen when Ashcraft is back behind the serving line. So let's see if the Lady Lions can go on a run here. They just trailed by 5.
And with the strike force that is up at the net, of course, your reigning CCS attacker of the week, Katie Hubbard. You have Jenna Ash, who's always dangerous, and Destiny Dietz in the middle. A scary trio to see as an unforced error there by Emily Lewis is going to give the Lady Lions another point. Lead cut down to 4. Ashcraft still back to serve. This is a recipe for disaster in the eyes of Bob Jones.
And just keep the Bruins close. If you can just push them to their limit. They haven't broke a lot this year, but this Lady Lions offense revamped. Let's see what they can do.
Serve going to fall a bit deep of that baseline. Service error, something we talked about a lot against Toccoa Falls. Just the first, I believe, of the evening. So a good start in the serving column here for the Lady Lions. This time, Landcron, going to be one back to serve. Manzo sets it out to Hubbard. Hubbard down the line over the blocker. That's going to be a kill for Katie Hubbard, the sophomore. Great job there. Jessica Scaniar's Destiny Dietz going to swap up the middles as Herman back to serve. Manzo's done a fantastic job thus far facilitating and sharing the love when it comes to all of her attackers. Bit of a miscommunication there on the side of Bob Jones. Another free point. Taylor Herman trying to keep the run alive. Leads cut down to just 3. 14-17 is the score. Hoops set it outside. So Blalock, Blalock swing is going to be just outside. Herman.
Object and mirrors are closer than they appear.
Herman, such a consistent server, and Bob Jones knows that they're going to recognize that this momentum is forever building, and we're going to see a timeout by Bob Jones. We're going to step away as they chat about what they can do to shut down this potent Lady Lions offense. We'll be right back after the timeout. Welcome back after the timeout. Bob Jones had a chance to talk about how to shut down this Lady Lions offense, who are mounting quite the comeback. Scoreline right now, 15-17. Lady Lions trail. Herman back to serve, and Lady Lions finally finding their footing against such a respectable opponent of Bob Jones. Serving error is going to be the result of that point. Excuse me, not a serving error, but a returning error rather by Landcron, the libero. Herman sending one over, saying, hey, try to get this ball in play, I dare you. Herman once again back to serve. Landcron the target. Hoops sets it outside. Going to be called for what I assume to be a double. Yes, it is. Hoops' intended recipient was Glaze, but just the mistiming of both hands is going to result in some sideways spin. Of course, anytime that happens, it's going to be a double. Herman with the scoreline tied sends one into Landcron once again. Hoops out and tipped in by Victoria Glaze. Smart attack there. Bruins finally shut down an impressive run by the Lady Lions.
Just barely found their way onto the line there. But we've seen here the Bruins a little bit of miscommunication and just some mistakes like the Lady Lions were experiencing at the beginning of this. So despite record, no one is just impervious to this sort of issues that happen in volleyball.
Absolutely, you're right. Speaking of mistakes, Jenna Ash, a little bit too tall, a little bit too behind on that attack. Ball's going to sail deep. Bob Jones back up to 19-17, closing in on the 25 needed to win the first set. Herman on the return. Bit of a shank's going to find Jenna Ash. Manzo the one to send it over. Bob Jones in system. Attack is Glaze. Good block there by Sconiers and Hubbard. Hoops. Dug by Herman. What a play. Manzo keeps it up. Ashcraft in the back line. Going to send it over. Landcroft, the one keeping it up for Bob Jones. Rolled by Hoops. Covered by Manzo. Herman out to Hubbard. Hubbard. Oh my goodness, Landcron, Hoops sends it out. Great defensive play by the Lady Lions. Just that resiliency is something we have seen all season by these Lady Lions.
What a job by the Lady Lions to essentially grab that ball out of the rafters. A really good block by Herman as that ball just went up and gave everybody, it seemed, on the court a time to reset and adjust to the next attack by the Bruins.
And just before we went live, Taylor Herman was recognized as the best libero last year for Division III women's volleyball. She led the NCAA in digs. So how about that for a backline defender to deal with all these attacks from such strong schools? 20-18 the score. Back to serve is one of the Hoop sisters. Ash with the dig out to Manzo. Manzo sets it out to Hubbard. Hubbard! Too strong for the backline of Bob Jones, and Hubbard going to grab herself another kill here. Number 2 on the evening. Jen Ash, the one ahead of her with 3. Manzo doing a great job of spreading the love as Mary Grace Shaw checks in to serve.
If this is any indication of how the rest of this match is going to go, we are in for an exciting night.
Shaw sends it in. Hoops sets it out. And Glaze going to get another tip kill there. She's had more success with the technical touch than she has with just raw power. Covering that short left corner for the Lady Lions has been a bit of an issue when it comes against defending against Glaze, but I'm sure they will adapt quickly. Shaw kept the point up. Manzo the one, spikes it over. Sconiers on the rolling dive, keeps it up, and Ash sends it over. Good defensive play there by the Lady Lions. Herman with the dig. But unfortunately, we're going to see a net violation against Vanessa Manzo. A beautiful play turns sour as just an unfortunate touch there. Lady Lions going to call yet another timeout here. Bob Jones inching ever so close to that first set at 22 points to 19. We're going to step away with them for this minute as the Lady Lions look to recover quickly and win this first. Welcome back, viewers of Piedmont University Athletics on YouTube. Simon Johnson here with Eric Edmondson, our wonderful play-by-play analyst. Combo here as we are back underway. Lady Lions look to recover quickly as Bob Jones University just 3 points away from this first set. Herman keeps the point alive here as we're just out of timeout, and freshman Kaylee Ashcraft, as if we haven't said her name enough, gets another kill there. Third of the night. Beautiful job there by Manzo to set Ashcraft up, and man, can she get up. We're going to see a substitution here. Jessica Scanier is going to be subbed out for Cole. I need to remember this last name. Apologies. Going to be subbed out.
Zoe Coelho.
For Coelho. Forgot the pronunciation there. But Lady Lions nonetheless going to grab another point here. Trailing by just one. Coming out of the timeout has been fruitful in both timeouts taken by head coach Jamie McCormack. Ball sent over. Hoops looks to find Cruz. Cruz is blocked to be shut, or attack to be shut down. Cruz rolls this one over. Good dig. Manzo now sent out to Ashcraft. Tight to the net. A little too tight for Ashcraft, and tried to just send it over. Unfortunately, no dice there.
Game
Bob
of
Jones,
centimeters in that.
Bob Jones going to steal that point away from the Lady Lions as they set back to serve. I believe another Hoops sister, this time Kirsten Hoops, the one here, the setter. Mary Grace Shaw, the one to return that one. Manzo back set over to Destiny Dietz. Dietz herself keeps it alive. Herman now passes on over. Ashcraft going to send it back corner to one of the other Hoops. Kirsten Hoops this time. Attack by Lewis. Going to hit the net tape, roll on over the block of Dietz, and set point here for Bob Jones University.
Just no one home on that specific play there. Wide open on the hardwood. Lady Lions going to fan out here and just make sure they're impenetrable.
Short serve here by Hoops, going to be picked up by Ash. Manzo sets it out to Ashcraft, and blocked by Blalock. As Ashcraft's final attempt of the first set going to be shut down by Bob Jones. It's going to do it for the first set. Bob Jones stealing this one, 25-21. Lady Lions came out of the second timeout really well. They build some momentum, and the next thing you know, a couple of shaky sets by Manzo, a couple of mistimed cues between the attackers in the setter resulted in the conclusion of the first set. So a good amount to talk about if you're the Lady Lions, but a lot of promising things as well. Don't go anywhere as we are going to get underway towards the second set in just over 2 minutes. This is Simon Johnson, Eric Edmondson. We'll see you soon. Welcome on back, Piedmont University Athletic viewers on YouTube. Simon Johnson here with Eric Edmondson. If you're just tuning in, we saw the conclusion of the first set of this women's volleyball matchup between your Piedmont Lady Lions and Bob Jones University Bruins. It has been a tight contest so far. Bruins take the first set 25-21. Eric, what did you see in this first set for the Lady Lions?
Well, obviously, for the Lady Lions early on, they started out slow and gave away a lot of points towards the beginning of the match. Maybe just a little bit of rush, just starting off, feeling out the game a little bit, but also stuff that you just have to have. And right there in a game as close, or a set as close as that last one was, you certainly would love to have those back or at least get beat honestly on them.
Absolutely, and we see in terms of lineups identical to the start of the first set for the Lady Lions. Destiny Dietz in the middle, Jenna Ash up front with Vanessa Manzo, the setter. In the back line, you've got Kaylee Ashcraft, Taylor Herman in the black jersey being the libero, who has been phenomenal not only this year in this game, but last year as well, and Katie Hubbard as the other outside attacker. Hoops gonna get the game, or second set underway, as Manzo sets it outside. Ashcraft. Hoops now on the other side. Cruz with the attack, gonna get the kill, split the seam between Hubbard and Herman. Great start here for the Bruins.
About as clean as you can make it there. Really found its way directly on the white line. Nearly nothing you can do to defend against that.
And as Eric and I were handed the stats for the first set, one thing that immediately stood out, especially on the side of Bob Jones University, is number 3, Victoria Glaze, who has absolutely lit up the scoring column. She's got 7 kills, which is nearly double her next highest teammate. She's got 7 on 11 total attacks, so a swing percentage of 55% basically. So half the time she swings, or just over half the time, she's getting a kill, which is very scary for Piedmont University. Jenna Ash, I believe, this time going to get the kill. Going to be a tool block off of Kirsten Hoops. Lady Lions open up the second set 1-2 here. Ashcraft back to serve. Talked about how scary she is serving. Float serve just going to sail a little bit out. Hoping to get a touch by one of the Bruins, not to be. Service error once again by Kaylee Ashcraft, but with so many aces that she does and how efficient she is as a server, you kind of have to live with those.
She has so much pop in that arm. That one just a little bit too long in the oven. But you definitely like to see the service aces, and if they're going to go on a run, they're going to need the help with Ashcraft in the back, I believe. And right now, just a 4-1 deficit. You really would like to see the Lady Lions take some semblance of a lead here, especially in the second set, to set an early precedent against these Bruins.
Absolutely, and these Bruins come in with a record of 13-2, are no team to just mess around with. Manzo there going to dump it. Hoops this time, going to send it on out to Blalock. Herman now with the set to Hubbard. Hubbard on the attack. Lady Lions arguing for a touch. Neither line judge going to see the ball change rotation or hear it be touched. So point goes to the Bruins. Timber Cruz, the Bruin, back to serve here.
Lady Lions may be coming out a little bit amped up. A lot of just over-hitting the ball, finding the backside of the court. So maybe just a little bit of a tune-up and need to get on these Bruins before they go on a little bit of a run.
Absolutely. Speaking of getting on a run, this is what the Bruins have been on to open up this second set. Jenna Ash on the attack, just a bit deep. A lot of these attacks are super close to the baseline, but with, I believe, 3 straight attacking errors for this Lady Lions offense, maybe it's time to not be conservative, but play a bit higher percentage, add a bit more spin on your attack to try and just get the rally a little bit longer. Manzo, though, active setter in the front row, is going to dump that on over, and no Bruin there to cover it short middle. Great awareness there by Vanessa Manzo. We know how dangerous she is setting up her teammates, but she's also crafty by herself.
And I was just about to say, Simon, Manzo has done that multiple times where she's just taken a little bit of a dump and just put it right over the net. So just seeing her do that there maybe changes the pace and the idea for what the Bruins are doing.
A joust going to result in a net error this time against Emily Lewis, I believe. Sconiers on the other side of that one. She won the joust, so even if there's no net touch, I do believe the Lady Lions are stealing away that point. Herman back to serve once again. She led the Lady Lions on a run in the first set. Good dig up by Manzo, keeps the point alive, of course, off the net cord. Ball going to be dug by Landcrom. This time diving is Ashcraft. Jenna Ash on the swing, or excuse me, Sconiers Manzo out wide to Hubbard. Hubbard keeps the point alive. Hoops to Lewis, but Lewis just a little short on the swing. Could have been a low set, could have been a late attack. Either way, Lady Lions starting to build that momentum. Our score isn't just updated on one of our scoreboards. The other one is, it is 4-6. Looked at my wrong direction there, Eric. Herman's serve going to be dug once again by Landcrom. She's been quite active so far for the Bruins. Hubbard this time goes deep corner. Landcrom gets an arm on it, but too much power there by Hubbard. Lady Lions building that run once again. Herman, the run starter for the Lady Lions, as they're mounting the perfect comeback to get this second set underway. Serve going to go in, and return error there by Catherine Hoops. Herman with a crafty float serve. So much movement in the air when you're looking at it. Can shift left to right on a dime, and when returning, you basically have to guess last second whether or not it's going to shift. So such a difficult serve to deal with. Landcron there going to find Hoops. Lewis going to send it in the hands of Sconiers, and Sconiers not pressing over the net is going to be a blocking error, and Bruins finally shut down an impressive run by the Lady Lions. Caitlin Landcrom here, serving it up. Ball going to be returned by Ash, and deep return tight to the net made Manzo's life very difficult, and Sconiers wasn't able to get a touch over.
Looks like just the first touch of miscommunication by the Lady Lions. Sconiers, I believe, just trying to get that maybe to Manzo. Manzo wasn't really looking for that. Thought that Sconiers was going to go the touch over, and right there, just unable to get a real return off that one.
Good serve there by Landcrom. We're going to see a timeout here by the Lady Lions. Of course, head coach Jamie McCormack doesn't want the lead to grow too much. It's right now a deficit of just 3 points, 9-6, as the Bruins lead here in the second set. Lady Lions have cleaned up a good amount when it comes to the second set, but after these service returns have started to put a little bit more pressure on them, they're getting a little bit more out of system, and they're unable to get these strong attacks. And honestly, I talked about this a couple weeks ago when we watched Toccoa Falls, that it was basically the Lady Lions don't need a ton of power. What they need is to be in system. Their biggest strength is when players like Katie Hubbard, Kaylee Ashcraft, and Jenna Ash all combine, when they can jump up high and get an actual attack on the ball. That's when they are the most dangerous. So sometimes it feels like these service returns, they're trying to be too perfect almost, trying to keep it too tight to the setter spot, which results in these awkward balls for setter Vanessa Manzo. But realistically, all the Lady Lions need to do is just clean it up a little bit, play a little bit higher percentage when it comes to the passes, when it comes to the attacks, and I can really see this set turning around. Of course, not a scary deficit to look at, but Caitlin Landcron has had a couple of dangerous serves already, as 2 service returns is what the Lady Lions are looking at as we are set to come out of this timeout, excuse me. Landcron there going to be returned by Herman. Tip there going to be dug once again by Hoops, and Hoops number 2, the setter, Kirsten, is going to be the one to send it over. Hubbard this time in the attack. Landcron digging it on the other side. Hoops sets it on out to Blalock. Blalock's ball going to roll across the net. Good cover there. And Victoria Glaze, who's been so good so far today, just going to have a little bit of a tough time there keeping that point alive.
Excellent net control there by the Lady Lions, just making sure that ball was not going to get over.
Deep serve there, going to result in an ace. Really awkward return position for Cruz, and it's going to be an ace for Jenna Ash. We know how dangerous she is in the front row, but watch out for her serves, as she can just grab a couple of free points off of return errors. Attack by Glaze, going to be kept alive by Herman. Manzo on the sprint sends it to Sconiers, who heads it over. Hoops now sets it on out to Blalock. Blalock's ball going to be dug by Herman. Manzo now out to Hubbard on the left side. We're going to see a tip call, and that's going to be a kill for Katie Hubbard. Great defensive wherewithal there by the Lady Lions. Hubbard up to 4 kills on the night. Fantastic job to keep that point alive. And of course, as we talked about in this timeout, it wasn't an insanely strong swing. We know Katie Hubbard can swing it, but it was just keeping that point alive, keeping the ball in play, that eventually results in an error by Bob Jones. Blaylock going to send it over.
Just outlasting your opponent sometimes is the name of the game there, Simon.
Hoops rolling on over, and nobody to cover the middle. Ashcraft tried to get a hand there to keep it up, not to be. Set getting a little bit tighter here in the second. 10-9 currently the score. Bruins still leading. Lady Lions chipped away at that early deficit. In to serve for the Bruins is Swihart. Serve going to be a bit short on the right side. Service error once again for the Bruins. That's going to be service error number 2 on the night.
And we're all tied up once again. And Bob Jones, you can't really, if you're them, I'm sure they're coming in. They're saying, hold on a minute. Because in this matchup between these two, they are 1-7 versus Piedmont. So historically dominant. But now the Lady Lions really taking them to the brink.
It's been a great match thus far by the Lady Lions. And how about that for defensive effort, as their prowess just wasn't rewarded, but the combination of Manzo and Sconish to send that one over was gorgeous. Unfortunately, Bruins quick to turn the ball right back onto the side of the Lady Lions, who are still scrambling to get out of that situation.
And Lloyd's now going to come in for Catherine Hoops for the Bruins.
Lloyd serve going to be just short there. Another service error in short time. It's going to tie up the score, 11 apiece, as Colho, I believe. I don't know if I pronounced that name correctly. Eric will always verify me on the pronunciation. Going to send that serve over. Hoops sets it outside to Cruz. Cruz with the tip. Going to be dug up by Jenna Ash. Ball sent back over by Mary Grace Shaw. Hoops looking at Glaze. Glaze off the hands of Ashcraft. A little late to get up to that block is going to give the Bruins another point. And that's something I've noticed on both sides. And that's a credit to both attackers for both the Lady Lions and the Bruins, is a lot of these blocks are late to set up, and that's because not only are the setters doing a fantastic job of diversifying who they're giving it to, but the attackers are also all committing to the attack. So it's very hard for any defender to recognize it. As Victoria Glaze gonna grab herself an ace and increase the score to 13-11 in favor of Bob Jones. Glaze back to serve once again. Gonna send it on over. Herman and Shaw seem to be a bit of miscommunication there. Seemed to be a ball that would have Herman's name written all over it, but Mary Grace Shaw dove in front there, and Bob Jones getting themselves on a bit of a run here. Glaze back to serve once again, sending it on over to the Lady Lions. This time Shaw, beautiful service return. Manzo went for the dump, no dice there. Cruz's block going to be shut down by the Lady Lions. This time Lewis's block or attack going to be shut down by the Lady Lions. Lady Lions on the forefront now. And Kaylee Ashcraft, great attack there. Great defensive effort by Destiny Dietz and Manzo, and turned around quickly for Kaylee Ashcraft to grab that kill. Manzo now back to serve. Sends it on over. Hoops looks for Lewis. Lewis gonna get in, the ball is gonna get in between Dietz and the net once again. A little bit of problems when it comes to pressing over the net for the Lady Lions, but good attack there nonetheless by Bob Jones.
It's a little unfortunate on the net there. It's just always just a situation of not wanting to play too tight, don't want to get that violation, but still wanting to be aggressive up on the net.
Ashcraft, the one in the attack. Hoops keeps it alive. Cruz gonna send it on over. Manzo now looks to set up Ash. Ash with the power. Shut down by Timber Cruz. And she's not the tallest player on the court, but man, can she get up at just 5'8" from Greer, South Carolina. Timber Cruz, a dangerous outside hitter for the Bruins.
You saw there, it didn't result in a point, but Ashcraft, a really powerful hit, kind of had the Bruins just throwing out the hands. One thing that the Lady Lions did really well, exceptionally well against Wesleyan, was just overwhelm them with the power. So maybe a little bit more pop behind some swings, throw Bob Jones off their game a little bit, and you got yourself in a good situation where they're not going to be able to handle these deflections as properly as you would think.
Emily Lewis going to be credited with the solo block there against Kaylee Ashcraft down the middle. Kirsten Hoops going to send the serve over. Little luck off the net, going to give herself an ace. Mary Gresham able to react, and all of a sudden it's a 6-point lead for Bob Jones. Head coach Jamie McCormack's going to have a lot to talk about on this timeout. Eric,
really
anything before we step away?
Yeah, really like this timeout here by Coach McCormack. Her girls seem a little discombobulated out there as they're really diving. Of course, there's a lot of diving in volleyball, but it seems like it's a lot of desperation, just trying their best to get to it. It seems like everything the Bruins do is making the Lady Lions jump out of position in some sort of way. So I really like this strategical meeting, and you see right here Herman having a really good conversation with her team. She's the senior member. She knows what's going on out there, and she knows she has the most range in the bag. So if she's able to call for the ball, get to it, really gives her team a good chance to have their own sets.
Absolutely, and attacking has been sort of the problem when it comes to the Lady Lions offense, with Katie Hubbard and Jessica Sconners, the only ones above 100 or 10% really in terms of hitting percentage. So gonna have to get a little bit more aggressive here, whether or not it's adding more power, looking to place the ball a bit better. It's tough to tell, but regardless, there's not much time left in this second set for the Lady Lions to dwindle on how to solve it. They've got to get out there and try to build momentum. One of the Lions helpers going to send the ball over to the waiting hands of Kristen Hoops. Ball going to be received by Shaw. Manzo sends it on out, and what a kill by Kaylee Ashcraft. We've said it multiple times already tonight. Lady Lions so good out of the break. They know exactly what they have to do, and once again, an immediate turnaround from that timeout.
Seems like every time they do get a meeting with the McCormack, they get that chance to, they're seeing what the Bruins are doing. It's just a matter of adapting to it while on the court and not needing that timeout.
Lewis this time, the one getting the kill for the Bruins, goes off the head of Destiny Dietz. Lewis got up there above the block itself. Impressive vertical. Timber Cruz, the one back to serve for the Bruins. Deficit at 6 for the Lady Lions. Herman's ball going to be received well. Dietz, the one, keeps it alive. Ball now on the Bruins side as that attack going to go just a bit deep. Blalock was the one on the swing, but a little too low of a set for her to really generate anything offensively. Taylor Herman, we know she can lead a comeback. Back to serve once again for the Lady Lions. Cruz receives that one. Hoops, out to Hoops, squared in. Beautiful attack there by Catherine Hoops. Such a quick set by the two sisters, I would assume they're sisters, result in that kill, and it's so difficult for any blocker to get out there in time because of the speed at which they're setting to each other. Landcrom going to send that serve over. Out of system once again are the Lady Lions, just struggling to find themselves able to attack. Bob Jones doing such a good job at finding Vanessa Manzo, taking her out of the equation, but how about that for a scramble point? Lady Lions recover with Vanessa Manzo, not even setting up Jenna Ash for that kill, and Lady Lions trail 5, 10 points away from grabbing the second set.
Yeah, the libero for the Bruins seemed like just a little bit of miscommunication, kind of found herself out of position and an opportunity there, and she just tried to get a hit on that one, and a little bit ill-managed, ill-timed.
Beautiful eyes there by the Lady Lions. Going to watch that one sail just deep. Jenna Ash back to serve. Ball returned by the Bruins. Blalock sends it over. Manzo active in the net, but unfortunately too much momentum carried her into the net. That's going to be another violation against Manzo, the third of the night, if I'm not mistaken.
21-16 here, and the Lady Lions have shown that they're trying their best to go on a run here. It seems like every time they take a point, they take two, it's kind of 3 steps back for them. Some net violations and or just some miscommunication, so it's really just about putting it all together.
A little too deep of a set there for Katie Hubbard. Another attacking error. Just seems to be a little bit of a disconnect, as you kind of alluded to, Eric, with the attackers and the setter. Definitely going to have to iron that out, but not much time here in the second set. Bob Jones just 3 points away, and that return going to be sent over the net. Good reaction there by Sconners and Manzo to shut down a free kill. Hubbard, though, going to be completely shut down this time by Hoops, who gets herself a block on the outside hitter of Piedmont University.
Obviously, Bob Jones a good team coming in 13-2, but I'm not sure what to attribute this gap to because the Lady Lions seem to have their number closing in on the final points and final sets of the first set, just really winning those matchups. And unfortunately, like we said, coming back from halftime, or excuse me, coming back from the first set, they kind of had those couple points at the beginning get away from them, and that's kind of what cost them. But here it really does feel like they're overcooking their hits, they're over-swinging, and just unable to play off each other from the deflections.
Absolutely right. Kill by Katie Hubbard is going to be the result of finally shutting down this run by Bob Jones. It's 23, now 18 for Bob Jones. Lady Lions going to have to play squeaky clean from here on out, and with the front line of Ashcraft, Sconiers, and Manzo, this is a scary group to have up there. Shaw going to send this one on over, and we're going to see an out call by the referees. From our vantage point, tough to tell.
Very close.
I'd love to say it was in, but I don't have the best view from that angle. Regardless, set point given to Bob Jones University. Lady Lions on the attack. Sconiers swings down on that one. Well dug by Bob Jones. Ash now keeps the point alive. Manzo out to Ashcraft. Ashcraft got through the hands of the blocker, but Hoops turns around quickly, keeps the point alive. Manzo sends it over to Ash, who just gives it back to Bob Jones. And a bit of a hot potato point going on here, but Sconiers on the quick one ball by Vanessa Manzo is finally going to get that point. How about that for a set point, Eric?
That was just absolutely great, and definitely, well, not definitely, but mostly you would think that a shift like that puts some fire under you, and right now the Lady Lions need a run.
Absolutely right. You're going to have to save a good amount of set points, and only way to do that is to play smart and play tactical as they watch that one sail out. I believe that was Timber Cruz, the one that's going to send that attack a little bit deep. Sconiers once again subbed out by Coelho. Cruz keeps that point up. Shaw sets it outside to Ashcraft, who's going to get deflected. Hoops back set to Hoops' sister, Manzo. Over to Destiny Dietz. Good tip there. Good spot in. How about that? Lady Lions building that momentum. They've been so clean since facing set point. We know they can get on a scary run. We saw their immaculate comeback by Toccoa Falls, and this time Bruins don't want to take any chances. 24-21 is the score here in the second set, but the Bruins are still going to call time out here. Lady Lions finally finding their footing. We had a couple of head-scratching moments earlier in the second set, but they seem to have cleaned it up. They
definitely have. You've seen a lot more more grounded digs rather than just diving for it or just trying to throw a fist out to get a hit off of it. They seem a lot more in their spot. They're a lot more sturdy with their hits. And to wrap that all up, it seems like there's a plan.
Absolutely right. Seems like they're finding Manzo in a more comfortable position. She herself is able to set up her teammates, whether it's Ashcraft or Hubbard or even Destiny Dietz or Sconier. Either way, or whomever it is on the receiving end of that set, they're able to get an actual attack on the ball. And Bob Jones, although they just need 1 point, seem to be the ones on the back foot here because the Lady Lions are playing as scary as we know they can play. Coelho, the one back to serve once again for the Lady Lions. They saved a good amount of set points thus far. Gonna have to save 3 more if they want to tie this game all up at 24 apiece. It's a good way to start off. Hoops serve, gonna be blocked. And Cruz on the joust, gonna tap it to the side where no one was covering. That's gonna be set number 2 for Bob Jones University. Lady Lions find themselves in a deep hole here, 2 sets down, and both sets we've seen, it has been flashes of really good volleyball. A team that is very scary and could have a record like 13-2 as Bob Jones has, but it's these little dips of momentum, these dips of, I don't want to say concentration, but I guess chemistry almost, where there's some form of disconnect between the passers and the setter and the attackers that result in a couple of unforced errors, and all of a sudden you blink and Bob Jones has a 5-point lead because they themselves have played a little bit more clean throughout the set.
And like I said, in the middle of the first set where the Lady Lions were having all these errors, you don't want to beat yourself. You want the other team to beat you honest. And the Lady Lions, obviously, really good team in Bob Jones. They have the history to back up their dominance over Piedmont. But in this situation, you feel like they should have at least maybe won the first set and definitely came close to closing the gap in set number 2.
And looking at the stats really quickly on our live stat tracker, it amazes me how tight this match really is. Bob Jones actually has more attacking errors than Piedmont. Bob Jones has one less service error. And in terms of total blocks, Bob Jones has one more. It's all extremely marginal stats that separate these two teams, and yet it's a 2-set-to-love lead. First set was, of course, a deficit of 4. This time, a deficit of, I believe, 5 or 6, if I'm not mistaken. 4, excuse me. Thank you, Eric. So, you know, it's right there, but the sets feel more separated than the scoreline interprets. So Lady Lions are knocking on the door of stealing a couple sets, but they're going to have to clean it up and play a bit more of a connected third set here if they want to start building a comeback. We're going to take a short break here as we're about to get set number 3 underway. Simon Johnstone and Eric Edmondson here on Piedmont University Athletics on YouTube. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, Piedmont University Athletics on YouTube. Simon Johnstone joined here by Eric Edmondson. Set number 3 about to take place between the Lady Lions and Bob Jones University Bruins. Lady Lions have a tall task in front of them, trailing 2-sets-to-love against Bob Jones. Of course, both sets heavily contested, 25-21 the score of each of those sets, but the Lady Lions, as we talked about just before stepping away, have been a little shaky at times, and that's where those leads built for the Bruins, which eventually ended up resulting in the Lady Lions unable to make a comeback.
And you look at set number 2 for the Bruins, .68 on the total attack percentage, so they definitely had that dip in overall going into the second half, and it was really the Lady Lions shooting themselves in the foot there that did it. So if you don't have to absolutely play perfect, but if you can just clean up the margins a little bit of a tweak here, tweak there, you might be looking at a 2-1 and possibly a comeback.
Underway in set number 3, we are Ashcraft on the attack, going to get blocked as Blalock shuts that one down, and over to the other side is Cruz and Lewis. Bob Jones picking up right where they left off. Their front row has been so scary, shutting down so many attacks by the Lady Lions. Only 4 total blocks to the name of Bob Jones, but it feels like they're getting a hand on almost every single attack. Serve received by Jenna Ash. Ball going to go out to Ashcraft, and although no one touched the attack by Ashcraft, we're still going to see a point awarded to the Lady Lions. Of course, a net error by, I believe, Lewis of the Bruins. Ashcraft back to serve. Can't talk about her serviceability enough. Hoping to see them kind of start a run and build the lead instead of trying to come back from a deficit. This time, Serve gonna sail a bit deep by Ashcraft.
Ashcraft just has not found the touch tonight. It's not that any of her serves have necessarily been blocked or anything, just hasn't been able to find that consistency of getting it back there, and that has a big reason to do with Bob Jones controlling a good bit of the ball. So I'm not necessarily saying that the dominance of the Lady Lions depends on Ashcraft being serving, but she leads the CCS with 45 aces, so it certainly helps. And when she can find that touch, you might see us going on a little bit of a run here.
Absolutely. When she's on fire, it's so difficult to return that serve. Tonight doesn't appear to be her night. We just saw Landcrom get herself a service ace off a return error by Ashcraft, and this time the rally finally getting underway for the Lady Lions here. Hoops the one on the attack. Ball going to be up in the air. Herman unable to run that one down, and Bob Jones starting as they always do, up by a bit. Good start here by Bob Jones. Lady Lions, though, don't want to fall behind early, so they're going to need a quick side out here against Landcrom serve.
Just a 3-point deficit. Let's see how Piedmont reacts here.
Ash off the hands of Manzo, going to be dug well. This time, Lala going to get shut down by Destiny Deeks. She has been an imposing force thus far for the Lady Lions in the middle. She's going to get a well-deserved breather at the start of this third set. Herman back to serve. Scaniers now up front in the middle. Herman's serve going to be returned by Cruz. Set by Hoops. Eventual attack by Glaze. Going to get shut down, and Bruins here. Hoops over to Hoops. Ash keeps that point alive. Awkward ball in the net. Going to be still in play. Hubbard now on the other side. Attack between the net. Going to be kept alive. Hoops on the other side. We're seeing a lot of rolls. We're seeing a lot of sets across. Hubbard's name called once again. This time dug well by the Bruins. And finally, after what seemed to be a bit of a marathon point, a lot of back and forth, Hubbard doing the most running there for the Lady Lions. Gonna grab themselves another point. Great job by Hubbard and Manzo.
I want to shout out Manzo because on that block that was so close to the net, she had the IQ to set it backwards instead of trying to set it directly up for someone on the net. Gave her team time to reset and rethink their attack.
Absolutely. Glaze going to go to her favorite corner, that short left corner. This time going to be covered by Manzo, and how about that for a not today? Manzo kept that point alive, and immediately going to grab themselves a point are the Lady Lions. Score finally tied 4-4 here in the third set. Taylor Herman back to serve once again. Herman's ball going to be returned well by Hoops. Hoops out to Glaze, and Glaze with a tool kill. Glaze, a bit of an unsung hero so far tonight. 9 kills to her name. She has been so dangerous up front, using her attacking prowess to tool it off the hands of those defending blocks. Serve sent in by the Bruins, received well. Hubbard on the attack, over the hands of the Bruins, and Katie Hubbard grabs herself another kill here. Great job. Katie Hubbard's been so active tonight. 23 total attacks on the evening. Of course, that is the team leading number, as the Lady Lions are tied 5-5. Attack going to be called deep against the Bruins. Lady Lions find themselves in the lead early in a set for the first time.
The first time they've had the lead tonight, and I'm not sure, of course you're counting the score on the court, but I'm sure the mentality is to still press it and not get too big.
Absolutely. Complacency is the worst enemy for the Lady Lions right now. Another mindless attack by the Bruins going to sail deep. Lady Lions slowly building a cushion here. Jenna Ash back to serve. Sends it over. Landcrom returns once again. Hoops on the outside. Going to get herself a kill. Good spot there. Gets over the eyes of Ashcraft, who believed it was going deep, but good dip there on the ball. Hoops sends this one over for the Bruins. Manzo now. Scaniers in the middle. Manzo keeps it alive after being shut down. Herman sets it tight to Hubbard. Hubbard gets up. Good attack there. Hoops looks for Glaze in the middle. Good dig by Ashcraft. Hubbard once again on the attack, and just too far in front. Attacking error there by Katie Hubbard. If I'm head coach Jamie McCormack, I'd like to see a bit more spread of the love when it comes to the set shares. Seems to be Hubbard's name's getting called a good amount. Of course, situations like that where you're out of system is all right to call the name of your outside hitter, who is the easiest to access for any player. But in situations where you're in system, great dig there by Taylor Herman as she keeps it alive. When you're in system, able to find Manzo set up, that's where I want to see other players get involved. Ash, good cover on the roll. Manzo going to look outside to Hubbard. Tip there, going to be picked up by the Bruins. Manzo keeps the ball up. Herman sends it out to Hubbard once again. Hubbard on the attack. Tipped off the hand of Landcron. Marathon Rally once again goes in favor of the Lady Lions. Their stamina showing strong here.
And Simon, you said you wanted to see a little bit of a spread the love thing as Hubbard's going to come out here, substitution. But you wanted to see a little bit more spreading of the love, and of course you would love to see that. And the Bruins might be expecting that a little bit, but when Hubbard has that sort of ability to just crank it into the back line and get a hard deflection that finds its way out, that's an ability that you definitely need as the Lady Lions get another point here and continue to pad that lead.
Timber Cruz gets the point off the hands of a Lady Lions blocker. Hubbard going to be subbed out, as you mentioned, Eric, for Mary Grace Shaw here. A little bit more defensive structure as Shaw steps in. We know how good she is on the passes and receptions of attacks. Hoops for the Bruins, sets it out to Cruz once again, and Cruz on fire here. Back-to-back kills for Cruz as the Bruins now lead by 1, 9-8.
It seems like they just snuck up and retook it right from under the Lady Lions' feet. So let's see if they can rebound.
Glaze gonna send that over. This time Ashcraft on the attack. Gonna go to the back line. And she's gonna get yet another kill for the freshman. Kaylee Ashcraft up to 7 kills on the night, second on the team this evening. Herman gonna check out as well as Sconyers, I believe, who's currently in the back row. Block there, gonna find itself in the court. Destiny Dietz got up once again. How about Destiny Dietz on the defensive end? Such an amazing presence for the Lady Lions.
You don't hear about her a ton, but she has had a huge night tonight. Very unsung.
4 total blocks for her, 1 solo block to her name as well. This time, Bob Jones University going to get through the hands of that front row and shut down that mini run by the Lady Lions. Scoreline 10-10, all knotted up here in the third set. Kirsten Hoops, the one back to serve. Mary Grace Shaw, the recipient of that. Out to Destiny Dietz, who set a bit behind her, but almost worked in her favor as it floated over the entire Bruins defense and lands in that back corner.
Yeah, didn't exactly get all of that one, but like you said, that might have been for the better as it just tucked to the back corner and allows possibly a run to be started here by Manzo.
With Manzo in the back, you've got 3 hitters in the front. Recipe for success, but unfortunately, not even a chance to see it as Lewis gets the kill there. The assist of Hoops. Both teams running just 1 setter, and both those setters have been done so well this evening with Manzo and Hoops, respectively. Serve by, I believe that was Cruz. Gonna trip up Mary Grace Shaw there. Service ace for Timber Cruz.
First real kind of error, mental error that the Lady Lions have had here. It's been so tight, 12-11. We talked about coming back that these two teams, going by the analytics, are neck and neck. And the Lady Lions cutting out some of those mental errors. They've kind of found their way very even with Bob Jones, but Bob Jones, very good team, unrelenting here, even though they're up 2-0.
You're absolutely right. And of course, Bob Jones has had a couple of those points throughout the night, a couple of weird ones where it hits the net tape and rolls over the block of the Lady Lions. But the Lady Lions so far in this third set have looked the best they have all evening as Destiny Dietz can't seem to miss no matter how the set is given to her. Great job once again to find that back corner as she grabs another kill. Mary Grace Shaw going to step to the bench here for Katie Hubbard as Lady Lions look to start their own run with Kaylee Ashcraft back to serve. Ashcraft serve going to be returned by Cruz. Hoops now rolls it short. Herman just a little late to the recognition there, and that's going to be a free point for Bob Jones.
And Bob Jones kind of coming back here, getting back to where they usually are in this situation. Just up 2 points, but just finding the Lady Lions out of position. Wouldn't be surprised if Coach McCormack goes for a timeout here pretty soon.
No need for a timeout when you got Jenna Ash swinging like that. Gets through the hands of the block of that front row for Bob Jones. Great kill there. Scanier is going to head to the front row for the Lady Lions as Herman now back to serve once again. This is kind of the point where the Lady Lions traditionally are falling off in this matchup. So in my eyes, it's make or break time. And how about that for making it? Jessica Scanier's beautiful 1-2 punch with Manzo going to get the kill there in the middle. Scoreline knotted up 14 apiece here in the third.
You get the sense that the Lady Lions, they know the hugeness of this moment. They're really playing for something here.
Off block point for Bob Jones there. Tried to find the alley between Ash and the antenna and just got Ash's arm enough to send it careening off to the sideline. Back to serve for Bob Jones is Eden Swihart. The back row, I would assume defensive specialist for the Bruins. Manslow back to being front row. Keep an eye out for her dumping one over. We know how creative she can be up top. Ball kept alive by Manzo, but a little too tight to the net for anyone to really send it back on over. And just returns have been a bit of an issue here for the Lady Lions. Gap not too concerning, just 2 points here, 16-14. Bob Jones leads. But it's time to clean up those returns, get those points started. Good job there to get the point underway. Attack and kill by Glaze. Targets Manzo in the back row and not to be for the Lady Lions. And knock are the Bruins on a match sweep as they're closing in 17-14 here in set number 3. Ash keeps that one alive off the hands of Ashcraft, but Ashcraft can't return the favor. Her attack gonna sail long, and head coach Jamie McCormack is gonna talk this one over with her Lady Lions. That scary run we foreshadowed happened in the first 2 sets, and next thing you know, all of a sudden, it's now 18-14 in favor of Bob Jones.
Definitely not out of reach yet, but right here, you kind of see Manzo has really stepped up tonight, and Hubbard, of course, is there as well to go along with Herman, but not the absence, but more of just Ashcraft maybe coming down to earth a little bit here, just not having her best stuff, obviously, tonight, missing on just by an inch or so. So it's interesting to see how this Lady Lions team is performing at this moment without their star freshman really delivering in the big moments that she is so accustomed to doing.
And I'm glad you brought up Kaylee Ashcraft, because you're right, you said it there. She is a freshman. There are gonna be some growing pains in a freshman campaign. That's just how it is. The jump up from high school to collegiate sports is never an easy one, and although it appeared that she's handled it almost effortlessly thus far, there are going to be a couple hiccup games here or there, and that's when the Lady Lions need to show their depth of talent at all the other positions, and usually they have done that. Ashcraft occasionally will have an off night, and it seems like players like Katie Hubbard, Jessica Scaniers, or Vanessa Manzo can really pick up the slack and dominate in their own way, but tonight it just seems like they need Ashcraft to get going herself to kind of rejuvenize the team. Attack by the Lady Lions, going to get shut down on the other end. Hopes the one to get the kill, a little short for Ashcraft there. As Bob Jones just 6 points away from getting a sweep away from home here. Lady Lions determined to not let that happen in their own home stadium. Serve getting returned by Ashcraft. Manzo looks out to Hubbard. Hubbard on the attack and returned by Landcron. Hoops now once again going to be on the attack for the Bruins. Ash going to get blocked, and up top is Cruz, or Glaze, excuse me, and Glaze just, if she could sign one spot on the court, I'm willing to bet it'd be that front left corner, because my goodness does she love dumping it there.
The Bruins have found that all night long. They've been really good on the net of just determining where the Lady Lions are blocking them at that moment and finding exactly where they aren't.
Lady Lions need to get a stop soon. Trailing by 6 here. Good dig by Cruz. Keeps the point alive for the Bruins. Hoops sends it back on over. Ashcraft. Here's an in-system Lions attack. She's going to be shut down from Scaniers against the Bruins. Good dig there by Swihart. Keeps the point alive. Cruz sends it back on over. Ash. Manzo. Watch out. Scaniers. Dug again by Swihart. Hoops rolls that one over. Dug again by the Lady Lions. Hubbard on the attack. There's the power we talked about. And finally, Lady Lions grab that one. Is that the point that sort of shifts the tide for the Lady Lions? Any Piedmont faithful can only hope.
You certainly would love to see it here, and this is a little bit of a favorable front line. So if you can just get the serves over and get the returns well, which unfortunately we're just unable to do there.
Victoria Cruz has been thrashing this team for against the Lady Lions. She's up to 12 kills on the night, hitting 23% roughly in terms of getting kills on swings. And Bob Jones don't seem to be slowing down anytime soon. Just 3 points away from the sweep here tonight in Cave Arena. One last timeout by the Lady Lions in hopes to talk it over, find whatever they need to change momentum and eventually mount a comeback. We know they're capable of it. Of course, last time you happened to join us here in Cave Arena, they led an extraordinary 8-point comeback in the 5th set to win the match against Toccoa Falls. So although they're capable of it, a bit of a tougher opponent in terms of record across the net from them here tonight. And just, it's the little things in my eyes that they need to clean up here. It's just the passes need to be a bit crisper. There needs to be a little less scramble situations that they find themselves in, and I think that's where they can finally be dangerous, because it's not like they can't match up in terms of attacking ability with Bob Jones. It's really, are they able to stay in system? Are they able to find Vanessa Manzo comfortably so that she can set up her teammates in a way for them to succeed?
You're exactly right, Simon, and regardless of how this match turns out, when they all come back tomorrow and they look at the film and they look at the analytics, they're going to see how close they were to Bob Jones, because looking at it right now, it is genuinely a game of 2 numbers or a point of a percent. So they are so close to putting it together against a very good team.
I believe that's 4 for 4 points out of the break for the Lady Lions. This time Jessica Scanier the one to get the kill coming out of the timeout. Hubbard going to sit down for Mary Grace Shaw to serve in her position. Mary Grace Shaw, the queen of consistency. Fingers crossed, my commentator's curse, doesn't strike her down tonight. Serve going to be received by Hoops. Hoops then sets up Glaze, and Glaze, number 13 on the night. The penultimate point away are the Bruins from this match. Lady Lions had a good attack there. Their recovery just seemed to be a little bit behind. Return by Ash out to Manza, who gives it to Ashcraft, and Ashcraft shut down by the combination of Lewis and Hoops. Match point here for Bob Jones University. Victoria Glaze, the lady who has led the charge offensively all night, back to serve. Mary Grace Shaw sends it back over to Bob Jones, kept the point alive. This time Timber Cruz sends it over. Good pickup by Jenna Ash. Sconier's on the attack, received. Lewis on the attack, and there's the kill that shuts down the Lady Lions night. It was a good battle by the Lady Lions. Unfortunately, a little bit too much firepower, a little bit too much consistency across the net from Bob Jones University. The Lady Lions are going to fall 3-0 here in Cave Arena on the 26th of September. Scoreline 25-21, 25-21, 25-16. Bit of a drop-off in scoreline. But Eric, in my eyes, besides the real tail end of that third set, I really thought that was the best set they played tonight.
It definitely was. We've just kind of illustrated the toughness of this opponent they're facing. And the first two sets, I can't say that you would think that the Bruins were saying, hold on, wait a minute, who was this team? We've never faced this team before, because they really pushed Bob Jones to their limits, it seemed, in the first two, where they actually had to bear down. And it did seem in the third set, and they were just unable to kind of keep pace with it. There was a little bit of just the more desperation dives and just unable to find it exactly. So it's going to be up to just building up some more stamina to hang with these teams and just making sure that even when you are getting a little tired there, make sure that your teammates have your back. Herman was trying her best to be all over the court tonight, especially in the back line. When she is that seasoned libero in the back, it does feel like she has a lot on her shoulders, and just trying to wear a lot of the defense tonight, I think, definitely wore her out.
You're absolutely right. It was a good battle by the Lady Lions. Of course, series history against Bob Jones isn't in favor at all. Of course, now the series record is going to fall to 1-8 in favor of Bob Jones University. On the season, Bob Jones increases their record to 14-2. Lady Lions fall to 5-8. But this team doesn't feel like a sub-500 team. It's just, if they can iron out those little things, as you mentioned, Eric, that's where they can start to build momentum. And as we get into the business half of this season for the Lady Lions, a lot of conference matchups coming up. Up until the 16th of October, it is all conference matchups. Of course, their next matchup is going to be tomorrow at Agnes Scott. We will not be live for that. Of course, it's an away match. Next time you will see us here in Cave Arena calling a women's volleyball match, it will be against Berea as well as Huntington in a tri-match on October 7th. So keep an eye out on the Piedmont University Athletics website for more updates there. But that is going to do it all for tonight here. Of course, Lady Lions losing in 3 straight sets, going to be a bitter loss to deal with. But they don't have time to rest on their merits, as they have to turn around and go right back out there to face Agnes Scott. But for Simon Johnstone and Eric Edmondson, that is it for tonight. We appreciate all of you tuning in to this broadcast on Piedmont University Athletics on YouTube. Have a great rest of your night.